And I'm going to say welcome to the first in a long time team meeting. We're back. First Thursday of every month, we will be having our team meeting here in Lake Nona to talk about everything that's happening. What's new with Sotheby's? What's new with Premier Sotheby's? What's going on in marketing with Claire Arnold? She'll be here in person the first Thursday of the month. What's going on in the mortgage world with Trip Parker? He will be here in person every first Thursday of the month. And what's happening in the market. So we're going to be talking about all things, everything. So it's a great, and of course we'll have food. So, you want to be here in person, but if not, you can be on Zoom as well, because we will be Zooming it too. So I just wanted to let you know this is something that will be regularly scheduled programming. You can count on it. It will be happening every first Thursday of the month. So I will be putting it out in the calendar, but you can look forward and plan on it. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and share our screen. Someone please mute whoever that is. That is super scary. I don't know who that was. We're going to continue to admit people. We're going to play our slideshow from the start. And we're going to get going. Or we're not going to play our slideshow. Okay. Admit. And we're going to hit play. Oh, no. Continue to share. Why is it doing that? Oh, admit. Is that weird? Continue to share this PowerPoint. Continue. Why is it doing that?
Yeah.
Huh? Super strange, isn't it? What the hell? Can you guys still see my screen? What the heck's happening?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop share for a second. Goodness gracious, I'm gonna close this out. Of course, we're gonna have technical difficulties on the first one. Of course we are. All right, we're gonna do this one more time. Share. One more time. Admit, play.
Choose something.
What the heck? All right. I don't know where that is though. How do I? All right, I'm gonna do it from here. This is super weird. I don't know why I'm seeing it up here. All right. I don't know. Very bizarre. Who has messed around with this? All right. Anyway, we're going to do it this way. Jesus Christ. What is going on here?
It's playing, Carrie. You just can't hear it.
Have you guys all seen that already? Can someone?
Unique.
Okay.
Unique homes. Uniquely play.
So that is our latest and greatest, what we have all about our brand performance. And we're going to be going through what we have for brand performance. We have tons of great new stuff for you. And this is something that you all should be adding to your listing presentation. This is from Design Vault, which I'm going to show you. This is what our brand performance was last year. So Sotheby's sold 157 billion. Why is that important, guys? Nobody knows. So sad. Lauren, it is more than anybody else. But because when you're talking to your customers, right, what's in it for them? They want to be with a global company that doesn't just sell here, doesn't just sell locally, but sells all over the world and can sell homes of any price point in any lifestyle. And I think if you're a company that sold $157 billion, it kind of speaks to that. Would you not agree? Also, we have 33 million visits to our website. 33 million. So that means if your home is going to be on Sotheby's International Realty, do you think somebody might see it? I mean, maybe just one or two people, right? We have 84 different countries and territories where our actual brick and mortar offices are. But what does truly being global mean? Is it that we have offices there? Or that we actually work together with those people? Because remember, we have those list track reports where we can see that they're actually looking at our properties, and we can reach out to them and work with those offices. So each and every one of you better have a story, whether it's a story about the home and celebration with Zurich, Switzerland, whether it's a story about any of the homes. I have so many stories about these. So if you don't have one, use one of mine. But we work together all the time. For example, the fact that we got the Jockey Club because we actually co-listed with Wellington. We worked with Equestrian Sotheby's. David Wells drove up from Equestrian Sotheby's, came on the listing appointment with us, and we landed that because we co-listed it with Equestrian Sotheby's. No other brand does that, guys. So whether we do it here locally, within the state, that's local for us, right? Whether we do it nationally, we've worked all the time with Pacific Sotheby's, we've worked with Vista Sotheby's in LA. We work all the time within our nation, and whether we're doing it in Zurich, Switzerland, we work whether it's nationally, within Florida, or globally. These are the stories you need to have, okay? You need to understand all of these stats. What does it mean? We have 26,100 of the best associates or advisors, excuse me, worldwide. We'll never have the most, and we don't want them. We only want the best. That is the most important thing. And we have the #1 market share of the top agents in Real Trends. So if you look at Real Trends, then the top percentage of them come from Sotheby's. What does that tell you, right? These are the people that are representing the best properties worldwide. So these are the stats you need to understand. You need to have them. You need to be able to roll them off your tongue. Like, you don't have to read them and say, what does that say? Listen, I can't even read it off my screen. It's so tiny. You have to know them like the back of your hand. And not that every customer is going to care, but if they do, you need to be able to say it like it's conversational, not like you're feature dumping. Granite countertops. Who cares? What's the important thing about granite countertops? That when you're going to be baking on top of them, you can put the flour all over and all that. You got tons of space to do it. I mean, you can put your hot pan right on it. It's not going to melt. I mean, you have to understand what the features are, the benefits are. Why does it matter to the homeowner, right? That's the whole thing. Now, these are 2 different social media platforms that they have available for you. And so I've created books so you can see. So we're going to go or not. Oh, here we go. So here's one, and I just threw it. Okay, what is that? What the heck is that? Oh, for the love of God and all things holy. Okay, we're just going to go over here. Unmet chain, server resources. That was super weird. I don't even know what that was. Why did it do that? Maybe because I'm logged out. What is that? Oh my God. So let's try that one more time. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Now it's here. Okay. Can we look at it? Hello, can we play it? There we go. These are social media assets about being the brand stats for the last 2024. So you need to be using these now because obviously at the end of the year, they're not going to be very relevant, right? So unmatched global network of agents obviously talks about our number of sales offices, the number of associates, what countries and territories, what we've done. This one's great. $4.6 billion of referral sales business. That shows you that we are a collaborative brand, that we work. And that's when we talk about the fact that we work together. That's what that's about, right? That is the referral business to me is more important than anything. This talks about our exposure, how we're seeing video playbacks, how people are visiting, more social media connections than anybody. There are promises and then there's performance. That one is huge, guys. Everybody promises the world, the sun, the moon, and the stars. So when you walk in on the expired listing, which is my favorite, people call it low-hanging fruit. I call it taking candy from a baby, whatever you call it. But that's the one. People have promised you the sun, the moon, and the stars. And here I am today to say, this is how Sotheby's is different. And this is why when you have a luxury home, only Sotheby's can sell them. And if you look, we sell the highest all over. And that's why we own the luxury market, right? We are the one who outperforms everybody. We are the unmatched global associates worldwide. These are the tall versions, the short versions, the wide versions, they have them all. Okay, and
Yeah, it's not changing up on the.
oh gosh. Well, okay, so everybody didn't see all the cool stuff that I just showed?
You heard about it?
You heard about it, but let me show you real quick. Stop share and let me reshare. Did you guys see it on the screen?
No.
No, in the computer? Okay, now you can see it. All right.
No.
Oh, is that, no, you still guys can't see it. Can you guys see it on the screen? Can't this stupid thing. And now I'm gonna try this again.
Are you guys seeing on your laptops? I'm so proud.
Here you go, Nick. No, what is going on with this thing? Let me see this and show. Now you see it, right?
What car tried to kill us on its side?
Okay, now you can see it. Here we go. And everybody sees it? Okay, now everybody's on the same page. Nobody feels super special more than the other one. No one feels like the redhead stepchild anymore. Okay, there we go. Isn't that beautiful?
I am the redheaded stepchild.
Yes, Juliana, you are. But we still love you also. Okay, so that's that one. And then we have, if we go back over here, this one is for Florida. No, it's not gonna let me play this one. Okay, but you guys aren't gonna get to see it, so I have to go back here to end the show. This is stupid and retarded. And then I'm gonna have to admit this person. And now I have to go. Now you can see it. Okay, goodness gracious. This one is only for Florida brokerages. So in 2024, our results proved that we're the partner you can trust here in Florida. So again, it's the same information, but it talks about also our Florida presence, that in Florida, Sotheby's has 2,803 associates. Juliana? We have 83 offices here in Florida. Guess who has the most of them? Come on, this is the easiest question. Thank you, Premier. Yes, we do. These are our exceptional results. In Florida, we sold $16.85 billion of sales. Guess who has sold about half of that?
Premier.
I wish it was me, but Premier Sotheby's. Yes, I can't take credit. Damn Naples, they sell a lot, but
There's one house for them. Sarasota, honestly, Sarasota grows so fast in just 1 year.
I know. Whatever. Thanks, Claire.
Fine.
Anyway.
You can't just-
But remember, this is Florida. I mean, they have great offices in Destin, great offices in Panama. You know, one Sotheby's is there too, whatever. But yeah, we have sold about a half of all production out of Florida. So that's
significantly lower price point in the grand scheme of things. So that's
yeah. It says a ton, right? So that's great. There's been over 11,000 total transaction sides, and we have closed 4,212 42,000 would have been better, but 4,212 sales over $1 million, which in Florida, guys, is pretty significant if you think about it, right? And 506 have been over 5 million, which is even more significant if you think about it, because this is Florida. When have we seen those numbers been climbing, right? So unmatched referral network, we did over $880 million just Florida to Florida. That's pretty crazy.
Florida, Florida.
Florida to Florida. Yeah. So again, there's promises and then there's performance with a Florida home. There you go. And no one outperforms us. We outperform everybody here in Florida, which of course we knew that. And then again, the same thing, but in the long version. So you have all of the same thing, but more with Florida images that you can use for your social media. And you're saying, but Carrie, where does all of this amazingness live? Can we all get back here? Yes, we can.
Yes,
all
yes,
live.
Carrie, where?
Thank you, Jules. Right here. Woo! In Design Center. So when you log into SIR Resources and you go to Design Center, it's right here as a banner, 2024 brand performance. And all of the resources. Yeah, well, look at that. You have dirty cookies. You got to go incognito. So when you go here, you click on this, all of the tools and resources come in the bottom. So brand perform. You have bad cookies too. If you're getting the 403, that means you have to clear your cookies and your cache. So yeah, well, I can't promise anything. But if you go incognito and you do access.sir.com, you can get in because it clears your cookies without you losing your obviously passwords. This is Design Vault. So if you go to access.sir.com or you just do SIR resources from Propel, depending how dirty your cookies are. I'm not talking about your cookies. I don't know. I mean, we know about Keith and Maria's. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe you're mixing in a little, cinnamon. I don't. See, that's what I'm saying. But if that happens, just go incognito and go to access.sir.com and then you can get into SIR resources. And when you get in there, you hit Design Vault. And in Design Vault, this comes up right at the very top. It's the banner. And when you open it, you can see I'm in there already. All of these resources are populated immediately for you to use. They're amazing. You just download them. So pretty awesome. I know. I'm excited about it. Super great. So one other thing that you need to know that's also awesome, which you can still get involved in, is our amazing Ninja Selling. You can still sign up. I believe we still have a couple slots available, and it is happening May 6th through 9th in Sarasota. So if you're interested, let us know. We can get you signed up. Claire, who do they contact? You know?
There is a link in Propel Smart Space.
Of course, there's a link in Propel
And
Smart Space.
Also, you should probably there's emails being sent out like every week.
Yeah, the email just went out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it was like yesterday.
You could talk to Keith. Keith will be there. Janelle Calderon will be there. Angela Jaspin will be there. There's a couple more people there. A couple more people will be there. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but you can join them all there. They're going to be there. So we have a bunch of people from Orlando going to be there as well. Maybe you'd like to be there. Juliana can still join. You'll meet Juliana there. She'll be there too. So you just click in. We can show you how to do it after the meeting.
Okay, but which Juliana? There are three of us.
Well, Juliana, you can do it too, but we have our very new, well, I have to stop it, but we'll introduce at the end because she had a little trouble with her car stopping in the middle of the road, not wanting to drive. So yes, but it's Juliana Zanoni. She's new with us on Maria McKee's new team, which we're not sure if her name's been approved. So I can't tell you the name because I don't know, but is the name approved?
For what?
The McKee Advisory Group?
I don't know. You have to submit that.
No, you have to see if it's approved.
I never got an email about it.
Okay, anyway, moving on. So we're thrilled to and then we also we have some new team members, which we'll introduce at the end because we didn't introduce them at the beginning.
Houses and y'all let us know if we're a team or not. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, you are a team. We just don't know your name. Okay. The other great opportunity, because remember, with the brand, what is so important is that we're collaborative. We all been looking at how many referrals we do within Florida, within the nation, within the even globally. So what do we want to do as a brand? We want to get together and meet each other. And there's no better way to do that than G&E, which we love. But unfortunately, we still don't know where G&E is going to be next year. We're waiting, bated breath. I'm hoping Paris or London or somewhere really cool. But I don't know, they haven't said. So we're just waiting to see where it's going to be. But this year, one of the great opportunities that they have, which is held by Vista Sotheby's out in LA, which I will be at, is called Level Up. It's in November. And you might want to go. It's a great opportunity to, I think I'll be on a panel. I'm still waiting to hear. I have no freaking clue. But anyway, it's going to be a great opportunity to learn, to meet people. And I would say, Emily, can you share with everybody, do you agree that the small ones sometimes are even better for meeting people and getting to know people and building your network?
Absolutely. That was my first network event that I went to for Sotheby's. think it's 2021.
Was Level Up, right?
Yeah.
You'll be there again, right?
Yeah, I'll be there again. Absolutely wouldn't miss it. They're fantastic. But yeah, it's a little bit more intimate. The the big GNC that we had, and it's top-notch speakers, and it's gonna be amazing. And what was any other question?
And there's going to be a Terra Vista, which is beautiful.
Oh, yeah, so it's in the Terranea Resort,
Terranea.
which you can have your own little casita. And so in the morning you can open up and see the cliffs and the ocean and the Pacific, and it's absolutely.
I'm really going for a vacation. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. No, it's going to be amazing.
And I mean, back then I was like, well, this isn't really a feeder market because there was a lot of West Coast people. And I'm telling you, I have had quite a few sales from the West Coast people now. because of
And
those connections.
I'm going to tell you, West Coast has become a huge feeder market for us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And probably even more now with the fires and everything too. I mean, it's just really grown even before the fires, but it has really grown to be a huge feeder market for us for sure.
That's great people.
Yeah, great people over there. So moving on, we are now going to move on to our latest and greatest, our newest, let me see if I can move over. Wonderful partner, Trip Parker, who is from Select Lending, who's going to give us a little presentation about what's happening in the mortgage world. So Trip, let's see if we can do this. Let's go. Oh, wait, hold on. So what I'm going to, do you want to come closer over here? Come on over.
Screen's frozen, so.
Yeah. Come on over here.
Dirty cookies.
I
You
know.
got dirty cookies. Oh, no. Now we know about a little bit about Trip that we didn't want to know, but now we know.
I'm fitting right in. Yeah, Harry asked me to speak about interest rates. So what I did was I got this chart and just wanted to show you guys where interest rates have been. Obviously, this picks up in January of 2023, and this is how volatile the rates have been, since January of 2023. They've been anywhere from, call it the 6.5 range to almost 8%. And
Carrie, can you show us the graph?
Oh, can you not? You can't see it?
All we see is axis for bid-in. Oh, there you go.
Oh, really?
yeah, that's what I'm showing too.
Okay, hold on.
So maybe it's not me.
Let's see here. Do you see it now?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
great. All right, there we go.
So
I'm glad you said that.
yeah, this is
It's forbidden.
as you can see, this graph concludes in January of 25. I can tell you that rates are trending in the 7% range right now. And for those of you that don't know, the way a lender prices out a loan is we actually have to look at loan amounts, property type, whether it's a single family detached, townhome, condo, credit scores, loan to value, that type of information. So generally, we have to input that data to give the customer a pretty good, accurate quote on what their rate's going to be. But for ballpark purposes today, your average conforming 20% down with decent credit, they're going to be in the 7% range.
Hmm.
Yep.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Given what the market is doing today due to the fears of the tariff war, we're
Right.
down 1,600 points. Are they expected to go higher, lower?
So I was listening to the radio this morning, a business discussion about that very thing. And the general consensus is, since all this happened yesterday, we're going to be in a wait and see mode. I don't think we're going to really start to feel the effects of these things or these decisions that were made on the tariffs for another few months. Obviously, the president spoke about a 25% tariff, but yesterday's news was a 10% tariff. And as I understand it, there are certain countries that we feel more friendly with that are going to have maybe the 10% tariffs, and other countries that we're really not as friendly with that will have higher tariff rates. So I think it's too soon to tell how this is going to impact interest rates right now. I think it depends on how the consumer reacts over the next few months. And if the Fed sees that we're starting to trend into a recessionary phase, then I think we will see interest rates fall. We can skip that. Everybody knows what happened in 20 and 21
Okay.
with
Basically,
COVID.
so
and
just
rates.
no immediate impact from the announcement of yesterday and the tariffs. There's like, because one of the mortgage lenders that my client is working with was like, we need to lock in because he's doing his announcement at 4 o'clock. And I was like, does it happen that quickly? And it doesn't sound like it does.
Yeah, it doesn't. And the data that I'm getting from some of the analysts that Select Lending Services has a relationship with, they're actually saying to float rates right now. Like if I have a borrower that has not locked in interest rates, the advice I'm getting is to float to see what happens.
Means not lock in.
That means
Right.
not lock in the rate. Now, obviously, they're
thank you.
going to have to make a decision based on the closing date to lock at some point. But right now, the general consensus I've seen over the past couple weeks in preparation for the announcement yesterday was to float. And we have seen interest rates fall a little bit in the past week and a half.
And I'm sure you have the ability to pay a little extra, lock it in with the ability to float down.
We do have a float and
If they're
lockdown.
nervous.
Yeah,
If they're nervous.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
want that.
sure.
The engineers.
Yeah. That's a
Hi,
recap.
is there any way that you could repeat the questions being asked in the room? Because we can't
Yes,
hear. All we
sure.
can hear is a response, please.
That was, thank you, Ariana. That was actually a question from online, but the question was that if you, someone had a person that was actually talking to the lender yesterday, and they were told that they should lock before the announcement was made at 4 p.m. That was the question. And what Tripp's response was, you heard, but essentially they have been told to float rates at the present moment because there's a overall consensus to float and wait and see because perhaps rates may even drop.
Right. I think the consensus is if consumers don't react well to the decision that was made yesterday, it's going to pressure the Fed to lower the cost of funds, which then would impact the bond market and interest rates for mortgages.
Which would be a positive for us.
For us, yes.
Which we like positives.
Yes.
Just saying, just wanted to make that clear.
So that's a
Okay.
brief paragraph on 2022 and 2023 as we were coming out of the COVID rates. The Fed made some pretty punitive adjustments to the Fed funds rate, which caused rates to basically go from, the 3s and the 4s to 7s. Last year was a year of ups and downs for rates. The Fed kind of settled in, and there were a lot of analysts that were saying that the Fed was going to lower rates last year. It didn't really happen. It's due to the pesky inflation. And there were a lot of analysts that thought that we were going to enter into a recession last year, but it didn't happen. So there were some ups and downs in the year. This is a long paragraph, which I'll basically summarize the last, in essence, of time. Wells Fargo and the Mortgage Bankers Association are estimating that the rates will fall this year. The average 30-year fixed has edged lower in recent weeks, as I mentioned before. So that's why I think I'm getting the data right now to float rates versus lock interest rates. But obviously the announcement, because I did this last week when I first talked to Carrie, but the announcement yesterday will be interesting to see if these things come to fruition. We're hopeful that they are. And I would say in conclusion that I've been a lender for 30 years. And how you can talk to your customers about interest rates is this: rates are low right now. They're when you look at where rates have been in the 80s and the 90s, and rates aren't bad right now. They really aren't. I'm sure some of the more senior people can remember rates being 12 and 15% in the 80s. And so 7% isn't a bad rate. And in my opinion, that's kind of where rates should be, in that 6 to 7% range. It's just that everybody's comparing them to COVID rates. So it feels bad, but really in the 7% range. That's not a bad interest rate to have on a mortgage.
Had this conversation with somebody today.
Is that what you said to him?
I told him, I said, I got 7.5% on my first investment property in '98, and I was excited to get it.
Yes.
We're back to normal.
Yes, correct.
In '82, when we bought our first house, 18%.
Right.
It was normal, I think.
Does anybody online have any questions? Anything they want to know from Tripp? Any questions about the mortgage interest rates, where he sees forecasting going? Anything? Well, we're excited. Tripp's going to be coming to every Monday morning meeting. He's going to be available. What the most important thing, I think, guys, now that we have our own in-house lender, this is not an affiliated partnership. This is part of our company. And so we want to make sure that these programs that we're offering to our customers work. So there's a lot of flexibility that we have, which is really nice.
It is.
So what we want to do is, if you're working with somebody, we'd like to offer people an opportunity for a backup loan. Because they're working with Rocket Mortgage. Do we know that that Rocket Mortgage loan is going to close? I mean, let's be real, right? Especially in today's environment with things changing in such a fluid motion, we want to make sure that we have something that they can count on. So I highly recommend, if you're working with a buyer, say, listen, it's great you've got your own mortgage lender, but why don't we have a backup that can also offer you another option? And this way, is it bad to have more options, right? Let's have more than one option that you could choose from. And that way, if you decide to go with the first mortgage, that's great. But this way you have two choices. And that way, in case something happens with the first, you're not stuck dry out in the cold and losing your deposit, right? So this gives you an option to have a backup. So I have a great suggestion. We have a wonderful lender who works with us. No harm, no foul. Take a look. If you love what he's got, great. If you don't, no problem. But at least you have a backup. So I highly suggest doing that. Tripp is available all the time. You have his phone number, you have his contact information. He's happy to help. But we have such unique, interesting programs that a lot of people don't have. And I think they're really going to make it easier for consumers to be able to get into products that they maybe didn't even know they could. So with that said, they're also great for listings, to make listings more sellable. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I had a quick question, Carrie. Well, it's for Tripp, really. Do you do professional loans?
We have a doctor's loan program, and we've got another program called All-in-One, which is a really interesting program I can talk about in another meeting. It really is designed for individuals that have a high degree of net wealth or net worth. And the cool thing about that program is, if that client establishes a depository account, part of their discretionary income is applied on a monthly basis to pay down the principal balance and offset the interest that's accruing. So there are some neat programs out there for clients. Would it be, a good program for somebody that's on limited income, putting 5% down? Probably not. But somebody, your typical client that has a high degree of net worth and owns businesses, we've got, all kinds of funky loans out there.
Sorry to interrupt. I have one of those loans, and I'm one of the few people, and I try to encourage some of my, my buyers that have like good finances to do it. But it's really hard I feel like, for a lot of people to wrap their head around it. But I have it on an investment property, and I love it. I love it when you see, it's offsetting the amounts in your accounts, and you pay so much more interest, and then it also works as like an equity line. If you want to buy another investment property, you can pull off of it for whatever you've paid down on it. I'm assuming it's the same program.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's like a 30-year, it's called a 30-year open-end loan, which most people, when you get a mortgage, it's a closed-end mortgage, which means when you pay it off and you're done. The neat thing about this program, it is a line of credit, like a home equity line. And if the customer pays it off down to zero because they have the cash flow and the capacity to do that, they can draw back up against it as well. So it's a really neat program.
And really, guys, what's interesting is that he has some flyers on all these different programs.
Right.
That one, the renovation loan program, all these different programs. So if you're interested, he could send you over the flyer to give you some basic information so you can have some talking points. You're obviously not the expert, but you have some brief talking points that you could share. And if they're interested, then he could certainly hop on a call with your customer. So anybody who's interested.
That's perfect. Would you please send those out? I would love to have those.
You know, after the meeting, I'll send out a bunch of them and that way everybody will have them in their repertoire. Sound good? Thank you,
Thank you.
Trip. Appreciate it. Woohoo! All right, moving on. Okay, so here's the good and the bad and the ugly. We had a wonderful website. You might have all seen it. It's fabulous. And this is how I know we have 227 listings in ours, because in one day I got an email from Budge that Stellar said you cannot put in your realtor remarks to go to this website. So we had it. It was great. Everyone loved it. And now we don't. So it was really wonderful, but very short-lived. So yes, where the realtors were being directed to come here to be, oh, not this one. Sorry, this is the wrong one. Oops, wrong one. Not that. That's ChatGPT. That's for you. I'll put it over here. Where was it? Right here. This one, where we were able to go there to download our commission reports. We were able to, it was so great. Yeah, we can't do that anymore. So sorry, guys, just wanted to give you that update. But now to introduce our wonderful Claire Arnold to talk about something more fun, ChatGPT.
I'm coming to join Carrie.
Okay.
Just wanted to touch base on
Oh, wait,
Premier Sir, our Premier GPT, which is an extension of ChatGPT Plus. You have to have a Plus account. It's $20 a month. Make sure you choose the Plus, not the Premier, because the Premier is $200 a month.
Don't do it.
But to clarify that,
Different.
yeah. So that's ChatGPT Premier, but this is Premier GPT, an extension which you can sign up
See?
for.
And you see it right here, Premier Sir.
Yeah.
By the way, don't use the app. Just go right off of the internet. It's so great. It remembers you every time. I have the on my phone, which works out great, but from your computer, just go right to the.
It's definitely a lot more user friendly on the web versus mobile.
The mobile one is fine.
Great.
Yeah, but just on your phone.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Just use the one on the computer. It's great.
It's definitely easier that way.
I'm just gonna go to the next one.
Yep. So we have a Premier GPT cheat sheet. I emailed this out after we did the marketing training with Elise. But if you would like this again, I'm happy to send it out. It gives you ideas of prompts that you can ask and different ways you can utilize Premier GPT. Elise spent a lot of time, almost a year, curating this specific GPT for us, so it knows our brand, it understands the real estate market, our specific regions markets. So I highly recommend, if you're a big ChatGPT user or you want to become a ChatGPT user, to have the Plus account, because one, I was talking to someone about this yesterday actually. She's like, I've been trying to just use ChatGPT the regular, because she said that she felt like at first she couldn't justify paying the $20 a month. But now she goes in and she asks for, she has more than one question and it cuts her off after so many because it's the free account. So she is now investing in that $20 a month account because it's worth it. Because not only can you use it to help you create listing descriptions and figuring out a marketing plan and figuring out who your ideal buyer will be for specific properties, you can ask it questions like it's Google, and it will pull it up for you, and it'll be, if it's real estate related, it's quick, it's easy. So I'm a big fan of ChatGPT. So
Can I tell you too, it's great for social media posts.
yep, super great.
You
for
can
social media.
upload your listing and say, write me a post to find buyers for this listing.
That's actually a great
It's
point
awesome.
that Carrie just made, because one of the worst things, even on a personal level, not necessarily a professional level, trying to come up with a freaking caption for your social media
Yeah.
post, it's like the death of me. So not actually, I enjoy doing it, but I mean in general, it's the last thing you really want to think
Yeah.
about. You want to be able to share your content without spending hours trying to think of the perfect caption or the perfect hashtags. Like, work smarter, not harder.
And if you do that on the regular ChatGPT, first of all, it won't do it like that. And if you just ask them to write you a post, it is nothing like ours at all.
Yeah.
It won't find a luxury buyer. That's for sure. You should see how it writes it. It is not our compliant. No. It's really not okay.
And what's really cool too about the Premier GPT, even though Elise has spent all that time curating it, it also learns from us too as advisors. So like, every so often, I know we ran into this when we did the big boot camp training.
Yes.
Where it said exclusive community.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Other
it
meetings, you told that.
so all you have to do is say
Change it.
we are not allowed to say exclusive because it violates the Fair Housing Act, and it will cut that out. And not
Or you yell at it and say, no, you're not allowed to use that
Yeah.
word.
yeah, Elise is
I like
so
to yell
funny.
at it.
If you haven't ever met Elise, our vice president of communications and public relations, she's like what 4 foot
Yeah, she's like
11. She's tiny. She's tiny,
a
but she is a little
powerhouse.
spitfire. So she's
Yeah.
like, I'm not yelling at it and telling it what I can't do.
Yeah.
So and it won't get offended.
She has me do compliance stuff on there too. And she's like, Carrie, yell at it. And I'm like, no.
Which is so funny because I'm the exact opposite. I always reply like I'm like, thank you so much. That was so helpful. And I'm like, why am I talking to
You were so funny.
That's the other word, they'll remember.
Yeah, don't keep me alive.
I've never tried that, so I don't
No?
know.
Do what?
Maybe you can, well, I do it on my phone. You
I
can
have
talk
never
to it
tried
on your
it.
phone. Yeah, but I've never done it on my, yeah, I don't know. I like to type, but on my phone, I talk to it all the time. Yeah, so I guess so, true. But the other thing I will say too, which I really like about it as well, which is really funny, but the other thing, when you're putting things in there, it's almost too good. So I was trying to have it help me rewrite some stuff for my equity letters, but it was too smooth and too much like marketing. And I was like, no,
You
it
can
doesn't
say,
work
I
for my
wanna
equity
make
letter.
it more on a personal level and a little less
Yeah.
formal. Like you can give it directions and it will follow.
Yeah, but it's actually too good. You know, it was too good for my equity.
You're
letter.
like, wow, this
I'm like,
sounds like
no,
a real
it
person.
sounds like the marketing team wrote it. You
Yeah.
know, like my equity letter can't sound like that. But I was like, no, it's just too polished. It's too sharp. But it's great for so many other things,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's very funny.
A lot of really cool
Yeah,
ways.
it's amazing.
Quick question. So we have to have a plus account?
You have to have a Chat GPT Plus account in order to utilize this extension created by the Premier Marketing team.
Got it. I just asked ChatGPT what kind of account I have because I did not know, and it is a plus account. And then I said, I would like to join Premier GPT. Got it. Right now, OpenAI does not offer Premier GPT version specifically
That's so
for
funny. That's because this is a specific one made by the company. So actually, will you go to the next slide, Carrie?
Sure.
I'll touch on this. So in order to join the Premier GPT, you have to sign up through the link that we've provided.
Got it.
This is the one.
Oh,
It's on the next slide, actually.
There's only these three.
And
So it has to
I
be
think
this.
this one. Oh, no, it's
No.
not. Oh, I can show you where to find it in Propel Smart Space because I know it's been emailed out, but it's hard to go back and forth to find old emails all the time. So if you go into Propel Smart Space, under marketing resources, there is a tab that has sign up for Premier GPT and then adding Premier GPT. So like pinning it.
Now, I
Got
will
it.
also say that the regular chat is smart enough to know when you ask it, who is the #1 brokerage for selling luxury real estate in Orlando? They know that it's Premier Sotheby International Realty Southwest office. They say, actually, it's just really weird.
That is cool.
Is that funny? It's so weird. I don't know why it says that, but I love that.
That's very cool.
Yeah, and one more thing about that. If your Chat GPT account is under your personal email address, make sure
Doesn't
you
matter.
submit that email, not your
Yeah.
Premier Sotheby's.
Yeah, because mine is under my personal email.
Yeah.
And I had to submit. Yeah, but you have to submit that one because otherwise they'll have the wrong one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so to walk through a little bit, you will get an email from OpenAI to join that extension. It's not going to be from the company. Sometimes those emails from OpenAI might go to your spam or your other folder if you're working in an Outlook. So make sure to double check. And then on top of that, once you accept it, I highly recommend pinning it to your, see how she has it pinned. So if you don't see that right away, you can search Premier Sur Marketing generator and it will come up and it will give you the option to pin.
Yeah, but you'll always know if you're in the right one because it'll say Premier Sur Marketing Generator right here. And then it gives you these 4 boxes, which are options. Now, this is not all it does,
Yes.
but it gives you these 4 clear pathways to start. If you're like, how do I use this thing again?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that's the only way to use it. And you can put anything in there and it'll give you photos of different posts that you could, I mean, it's so amazing. I love it. I use it all the time. It's so great.
Do you
By,
have
by
my-
the way, for what it's worth, guys, there's something that I use. I don't know how many you know about the task manager.
What was that?
The task manager within GPT, you can actually create tasks every day and tell them, I want you as an expert to create a report that tells me what the mortgage industry is doing and is affecting Florida, and give it a few bullets. You do that for real estate, for whatever, and send it to your email. And that can give you a recap of the market, the interest rate, what's going on. And I find it very, very useful because people that I'm working with in different sides of business, I can just forward the information to them. So it's fantastic.
I think I still would double check it, but I'm so untrusting.
On top of this information, before I hop off and let Carrie take over again, I will be in Dr. Phillips' office in person this coming Monday. So if you want to schedule an in-person meeting with me, reach out to me or use my Zoom scheduler appointment setting app. And then on top of that, I wanted to make note of the virtual trainings that I'm going to be offering, the topics for this coming month. On the 10th, I'm going to be doing properly utilizing automated reports, which is the Pulse seller report, the neighborhood trend report, and the market report and list track. On 4/15 and 4/17, I'm going to be doing a training on marketing your listing once it goes live. On the 22nd and the 24th, I'm going to be training on Design Vault and utilizing those SIR templates, which is great because Carrie just touched on that a little bit earlier today, as well as we can go into Video Studio a little bit.
Love that.
And then on the 29th, I will be doing a Premier GPT training.
Woo! All right. Well, thank you, Miss Claire. We love it.
Well,
All
quick
right.
question before she walks away, Carrie. So she's going to
Huh?
be sending an email to everybody with all the invitation for all the trainings.
Yes, I will be sending invites and I will be sending out an email with my calendar for the month as well. You guys are welcome to meet with me in person at other offices if an in-person appointment is important to you as well. Or I'm always available via Zoom.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So as we are moving on, we all knew when we started the year that we had certain challenges on the horizon, and we still do. So the DOJ, we still know that there's definitely more investigations that they may be bugging us with. The three-way agreement with NAR is still out. We still know that they're fighting it. Phoenix is fighting it strong. We know Michigan. Actually, there's Sotheby's that were involved in that litigation. And we all know the settlements, obviously, they're still challenging that at every turn because that's our new norm, right? But here we go. Clear cooperation. That is the one that just came up, and the MLS, NAR actually introduced a new flexibility for sellers, and they retained the clear cooperation policy, which was huge. That's a win because Compass, Refkin, gotta love that CEO, he tried to really take over the market with his private listing situation. What they wanted to do is be able to say, we have all these listings, and for you, you want to be listed with us, and buyers, you want to be with us because we have all this inventory that's only ours and no one else can have it. Is essentially what they were trying to do. They wanted to take over the world. That's what their plan was. And they also wanted to own Berkshire Hathaway, which was the rumor, because they don't have relocation, they don't have mortgages, they don't have all these external services, title companies. So who else who has a better job of that than Berkshire Hathaway? But of course, that was blown out of the water, as we all know. So that didn't amount to anything. Who knows if it will, but that's where we stand with that. So NAR said, no, we're going to continue with clear cooperation, but with some change. The change is there's now this new discretionary period that they're calling this informed consumer choice. I think that's funny. It's almost like a coming soon period, if you really think of it that way, whereas a delayed marketing exempt period. Okay. So you'd still have to fill out a form with saying, I want to be on the MLS. The MLS is amazing. There's all these reasons why you want to be on the MLS, but we've chosen to delay it for a period of time. And you would file that, right? Now, how long is it going to be? Great question, because every MLS gets to choose. How does that sound? crazy. And this is going to be determined by September 30th. So I've not heard anything from Stellar. You guys know I'm on the broker advisory council for Stellar. We have not heard anything. I've not had a meeting since this came out last week. So not certain what Stellar will say, what their thoughts are, but how much will it affect us? Not much, right? But that's the new change. The best thing about it is, guys, guess what? They've upheld it. You still have clear cooperation, so no one's going to be trying to take over the world, right?
So is it just gonna be a new status, or is it just?
Pretty much. You know how you had we don't say the word pocket listing, but similar like to an office exemption, it's just that you're only exempt for a certain period of time. So it's delayed, like a coming soon, really.
Yeah.
Kind of same kind of thing. So here's the same thing. You have an office exclusionary period, and if you do any marketing, you have to go 1 day, right? Same kind of thing. You have a delayed period that you can be off the market, but if you do any marketing, guess what? Got to be back on the market. So it's going to be subject to the same rules and regulations. How long would that delay period be? Again, we don't know. Each MLS will be subject to its own rules. Now, for those of us who may put a listing in Stellar and maybe in Space Coast and maybe in the Daytona Beaches, well, this could be super fun. Those are 3 MLSs that could have 3 different delayed periods. So stay tuned. We're going to see how that plays out. We may choose not to delay it in 3 of them, right? We may have to see. That may just be total craziness. I don't know, but we'll let you know. But with that said, I would say that when you borrow from someone or steal, whatever word you want to use, it is the biggest form of flattery. Would you not agree? So Daniel Gale, who we love, came out with a great thing called quiet exclusives instead of private placement. So for buyers, look at this. You have early access to exclusive homes, curated matches, not endless searches, private transactions, more opportunity. Ooh, exclusive access, personalized approach. At Premier Sotheby's International Realty, we connect buyers and sellers in a way that technology alone can't impact. While, I can't read that up there. While some firms push automated portraits, we offer something more valuable. When it comes to off-market properties, personalized service and strategic guidance. With quiet exclusives, real estate isn't left to chance. It's guided by expertise, relationships, and a deep understanding of what matters to you. For sellers, I missed that. Test price without market risk, discretion without limitation, a hand-picked network, not just a portal. It's really good, right? So I have it in an email format. Yeah, totally stole that right from Daniel Gale. I loved it. And so, you know, I don't know if our company will choose to run with it, but I know I will. So I already have it. I have it set up in an active pipe. So anybody who'd like one, let me know. I'll help you create one. Yeah. Well, we have to create it in your active pipe. So we'll do that together in our next meeting, shall we? Just wanted to, but who loves that? Quiet exclusives. So nice, isn't it? Isn't it? I loved it too. So
Makes me want it, not even know what it is.
don't you want what you don't have?
Oh, yeah, I can have it. I want
So anybody online like that? That's pretty cool, right? I mean, I can't take credit for it. I mean, I can.
It's like mysterious.
I
It's
know.
mysterious. So you want to know more. Tell me
Don't
more.
you?
Yes, it's
I
so good.
know. And it's just so, well, so Sotheby's. I think they did a great job. Thanks, Daniel Gill. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in the market. In Dr. Phillips, these are both zip codes for March. The market is up 35%. So just so you know, this is year over year. Now, what is also up is active sales. There's a lot more actives. Right now we have 174. That is up for sure. We had sold 40. Now this is only single family. I took out, you know, condos and townhomes, just so you know, all across. Average days on market have ticked up everywhere, all across our market. So we're at 67, where last year, same time, was 48. Is it horrible? No, but it's up, okay? Average, now you need to know that when you're going on listings, right? Because when people are like, oh, I only want a 2-month listing, which we don't do anyway, but you got to keep in mind, average days on market are 67 now, okay? Average sales price this this last month was 1.5, guys. That's crazy. Same time last year was 1.13. So listen, we're not going to cry about it, right? That's pretty darn good. Lake Nona, which I'm still shocked. Average sales price is up 18.4%. Shocking. But the active sales here are insane. We have 275 on the market here. We are flooded in this market, which is why I'm shocked that the average sales price is up. We've sold 51. Days on market are 65, which of course it's ticked up, but from 51, that's not that much more. Our average sales price this year is 871 and change. Last year was 735. Shocking. March, here you go. Windermere is down 21%, but in February it was up 13.77%. So that's just 1 month. It could be a big sale. They had something that sold about 8 million. So sometimes you have one sale that just throws the market off. But active listings, it's got a lot. We have 197 homes for sale in Windermere. Guys, Windermere's not that big. That's pretty shocking.
Is that by zip code or by
Zip code.
city limit?
Zip code 34786. 48 homes sold. Active days on market 69. 46 last year. Same time. But listen, are we crying that it was 1.336? I mean, we are, but you know, last year this time was 1.696. But again, you take one big sale, you know, last year they had a 9 million sell that month. So that could have thrown it off, you know. So there you go. But again, 1 month that is down, the month before year to date was up 13.77. So we can't really take that into effect, but I'm going to look at it next month and see where it's trending. Winter Garden, it's up 8%. Oh, it's supposed to be March. I missed that one. Whoops, don't look at that. Okay, again, 135 sales, a lot. But notice, I want you to see this. Windermere has 197. That's more than Winter Garden. That's crazy. Okay, crazy. No, I lied. 420. Totally lied. They sold 135. No, there's a lot of sales in Winter Garden. 60 days on market. Again, we're in the 60s, guys. 55 last year. Their average sales price is 729, and last year was 674. Claremont is down 4%, but they were up last month for 9.7. So again, we're just going to watch it. They have 478 active sales. It's a big area, but that's crazy. That's a lot of active on the market. 128 have sold. Again, they're at 60 days. So that's what's taking, right? But 483 is their average sales price. Last year was 503. March, Ocala's down 3%, but they were almost flat in February. They were up 0.01. But this is the average sales price. And really, a lot of our stuff is way above the average. Okay. So it's kind of hard for us to look at this in Ocala, but the average sales price is $319. I mean, we hardly even sell in that area, but the average sales price last year was $332. But look at the average days on market are 75. And I want you to see that at that price. So when we look at our listings, 12.9, 8.5, 3.4, 1.7. I mean, of course we have long days on market. Look, these homes are taking long. Look how many actives you have, guys. 2,568. Now, this is Ocala, huge markets area, because it's very hard for me to break that up, but I just wanted to just see that, okay? It's a big market, but the market itself is taking longer. All right. So in Southeast Orlando, Lake Nona, in March, we had $11.6 million in listings. Congratulations, Kate Hoffman, Ohana Martins, Casey Borders, Suzette Boujon, Susan Abshire, Mike Mitchell, Anna Martins, Peyton Lewis, Andrea Endline, and Keith Koch. Woo! We had new sales of 7 million. Congratulations, Shane, Anna, Lauren Ensley, Kevin Kersey, Andrea Endline, and Keith Koch. Woo! And March close sales, 4.6 million. Anna Martins, Ohana Martins, Casey Borders, Julia Hillary, Barb Ashley Jones, Susan Abshire, and Suzette Boujon. Woo! Good job, little Lake Nona. All right. Dr. Phillips and Claremont, we had 12.5 million in listings. Dawn Giacchetti, Alex Minato, Ariana Austin Gibbs, Carrie Bellish, Lynn Liu, Janet Allen and Janice Edwards Diaz, Alejandro Quayle, Chad Going, Jules Carnero, Kelly Whitaker, Teresa White, Linda O'Grady, Maria McKee, and Brady Richardson. Woo! Okay, Dr. Phillips and Claremont, March new sales pending 20.5 million, guys. Yep. Dawn Giacchetti, Jules Carnero, Carol Medeiros, Brady Richardson, Bobby Weldon, Carrie Bellish, Maria McKee, Janet Allen, Janice Edwards Diaz, Teresa White, and Linda O'Grady. I know, it's a lot. Okay, and they closed 16.9 million. Some people are going to the bank. Dawn Giacchetti, Val Flaherty, Janet Allen, Janice Edwards Diaz, Bobby Weldon, Maria McKee, Lynn Liu, Jules Carnero, Angela Jaspin, Carol Medeiros, Leslie Heimer, Carrie Bellish, Chad Going, Elise Benitez, and Luz Polina. Woo! And Little Ocala. They did 4.2 million in listings. Angela Rose, Helton, Channing Johnson, and Jill Hennenberg. Woo! Oops, here we go. New sales, guys, 15.4 million. There's 11 advisors out of that office. Angela Rose, Heather Ziron, Jill Hennenberg, Maddie Franco Sofield, and Stacy Rollins. Woo! And they did, what is that kind of weird thing up there? I don't know. They closed 9.5 million with Angela Rose, Heather Ziron, Jill Hennenberg, Luli Lanio, Michelle Jarvis, Stacy Rollins, and Tanina Darley. Woo! That's some strong sales for one little month. Would you guys agree? Here's our office update, guys. 225 active listings as of yesterday. 188 million volume listed. That's our offices. And our average sales price is $931,000. That is pretty darn awesome. Super proud of you guys. Now we just got to sell it. This is coming up. I hope you all join me at the Drive Shack right over here. My government affairs team has put on this awesome party. It's to benefit the Florida Realtors Pack. And I'm sure Maria will be there. I know Linda O'Grady will be there. I'm hoping all of you will be there with me. It's on April 11th from 6 to 9. You just log into your Aura account. You can bring your kids. Kids can come. There will be even face painting for the kids. There will be ice cream bar, but there's food, there's alcohol. Of course, it's Aura. There's always food and alcohol involved. You could do the regular attendance or you could do the VIP. What's the difference? Better food if you do VIP. I'll be doing VIP because I want the better food. But either way, you'll have food and drinks on both. And then there'll be an after party, which, yes, we will be having a mechanical bull. It's a true story.
Carrie will be riding it.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know about that rumor, but you should be writing it. I think. So I hope you'll be there to join me. I will be hoping to see you all there. And then we also.
Do you need to know how to play golf to go?
Oh, heck no. Drive Shack, you just hit the ball and it goes. I mean, that's the beauty of it. Nothing to do with it. And then our marketing town hall through Sotheby's is Tuesday, April 15th from 1 to 2. So hop on. You just got an email about this today. And then I'd like to wish a happy birthday to all our April birthdays. Some parents were busy this month or 9 months before this month.
Happy birthday twice. Amazing.
Oh, are you on there twice? Oh, apparently so.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you are. So happy birthday to April Winters, Bobby Weldon, Carol Medeiros, Maria McKee, only once, Juliana Giordano, Chad Going, Felix Lopez, Elizabeth Chichi-Portis, Elsie Benitez, Lauren Ensley, Julia Hillary, Janet Allen, and Kelly Ann Whitaker, and Kevin Kersey. So happy birthday, everybody. And thank you all for being the most premier team I could ever wish for. If you need me for anything, I am here. Thank you. Have a great rest of your week, and I will look forward to seeing you on Monday for our addendas and fair house. No, not fair housing. God, I don't ever want to talk about that. We're going over addendums and the commission conversation. So have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.